Okay, time for the next question. Okay. It's almost like a crab trap where you can only go in and you get stuck and you can't quite get back out. All right. Next question. What happens if I forget my password or lose my phone? Well, this is where you need to have good best practices. You need to practice that you have good security, that you have either your private keys stored or you have your 12 words stored or both in secure places. Because yes, if you're walking around with your phone, your device, and it gets lost and that was where your walk around money was, that's going to be gone unless you can restore it to another wallet quickly. So let's just say let's say you have an Exodus wallet, just picking one that I've liked in the past. I still like it, but it's a software wallet, it's a hot wallet, and you have $1,000 worth of crypto, Bitcoin, walking around for that day. You lost your phone. You have $1,000 on it. Well, you can't really shut it down. I mean, you have the security of getting into the phone, but what you can do is recover that $1,000 if you have the BIP39, you have the 12 words, you have the security phrase, you have the private key, whatever you have, you can restore your wallet to a brand new device. The device only has the amount as long as it has the wallet, unless you restore it somewhere else. So as long as you know what you're doing, odds are you're going to get the money back because you can restore it to another device. That's why I say, like in the other videos, that you want to practice restoring wallets and know how to do that using your 12 words. Let's see. So that's your seed words. So yeah, you can lose your device, you can lose your password. Passwords can be restored, like for some wallets like MetaMask, there are passwords. But if you forget it, you can just restore the wallet with the 12 words, and then reset the password. So that can be done too. But this is why you need to practice this before you get too much in a particular wallet. If you have a wallet you use a lot, or you have a lot in, you definitely want to practice more with it. And you also want to consider if it's the right style. Is it a purely cold wallet, like it's off the internet? Or if it's a hot wallet like a MetaMask or an Exodus, where you have to be tapped into the internet or your home Wi-Fi to confirm transactions or to make sure that things are processing right. So yes, you can lose your devices, but the idea is you want to put security measures in place, and there are several, of having your private key or your 12 seed words to restore your private keys, and practice doing that just in case that may happen. And even if your phone crashes, every electronic device eventually dies. So if your phone dies, or if it crashes, or you can't restore it, or it runs out of memory for whatever reason, you can't operate that wallet again, there are options if you have those 12 seed words. That's why when you set up a new wallet, the good wallets will ask you, here's your 12 words, you sure you want to see them? And then they will quiz you on the words right after, because they know how important it is to have those words written down, because at some point you have to restore your own wallet, and no one else can do it but you, because that's part of the security, right? You don't want to have Exodus or MetaMask knowing how to access your wallet while you're not around, because that would be an open license to steal from you. So this is the cost, and this is the price you pay to secure your own wealth and have your money under your control. It's under your control for good and bad. If you mess it up, that's on you. Self-responsibility of self-custody, that's the real thing. If you don't trust yourself, maybe you do want to have an ETF. Maybe you do want to have a Bitcoin, someone holding else your Bitcoin that can have a custodian. But then you're moving your trust to them. Now, I wouldn't do that with all my wealth, but maybe some of it. Maybe that's a way to go. But as a pure Bitcoiner or a pure crypto person, I trust my own self to have good practices more than I trust a third party, because they're probably not up to speed on the best security as much as I am. So that's why I try to mitigate my risk by spreading around in several wallets, making sure I'm good with those several wallets, making sure like once a quarter I restore them and make sure everything is good, and just practice general good security and safety. And that's a big part of self-wealth preservation. So great question. You can restore it if you know what you're doing. So it's not necessarily a great thing that happens if your phone dies or if you lose it, but there are ways to recover your wallets. So great question. Now we'll move on to the next one.